Folks, legitimate question for you. What grade would you give the Warriors front office this offseason? An A because they're standing still to their morals with Jonathan Kuminga, or an F because the Jonathan Kuminga situation is not figured out yet? Well, we have new data that I'm going to share that talks about each NBA team, how they're doing from a front office perspective, and then what is the results on the court. So is it a good short-term game or long-term game? This is really interesting data. I know that a lot of people love Bob Myers. Of course, he brought the championships in the 2010s. Since Mike Dunleavy Jr. came, it's been up and down. He got the big trade for Jimmy Butler. Has it translated to success on the court before, after? Well, the team was terrible until they got Butler, basically. Started 12-3, downhill, went 21-21, finished the season strong. Unfortunately, Curry got hurt, but I think the Wolves maybe had more talent. OKC probably definitely would have beat us in the conference finals. Now, let's look at the data. So let's like, subscribe to Warriors Digest. Please follow JK News. A video later will be coming out. I'm trying to not just give you JK videos, keep you interested as we move through. So we're going to talk about NBA front office. Now, later, and the past. How's it all looking? Yeah, I think you're really going to like this. So this chart plots each team's front office score. I'm going to move my camera in a second. Against its comprehensive score. It reveals how effectively a team is converting its strategic optionality into on-court success. So what are they doing in the front office? Is it translating to on-court success? Highlighting teams that are overperforming and underperforming relative to their ideal path. So what are they doing? Does it mean that they're trying to tank to get good? Or are they trying to stay? And that could be the Thunder, could be in the Spurs, teams like that, the Nets to a degree. Or is it a team like the Pacers, who never really tank? They just kind of rebuild, retool, things like that. Warriors, more on the retool side, haven't tanked in quite a while. So let me move my camera. So you can see who's at the top. As expected, the Thunder. Comprehensive score, 500. Front office score, 40. At the best of the best that they can be. Meaning, front office did the right moves. I'll bring my camera back up for a second. They did the right moves. The front office is out there making the right plays in the draft, in the trades. Of course, they got Caruso, getting Shea in the PG-13 trade. So, PG-3. Is it 3 or 13? I forget. Anyways, Paul George trade. So, they made the right moves. They tanked after the whole Harden, Durant, Westbrook went to the championships, and then they rebuilt, and now they're set up for success. So, the on-court talent is 500. Front office score is 40. Look at the Nets. Look at the Hornets. So they are having a pretty low front office score. They're at 0. The comprehensive score is 500. So what does that mean? That is saying, folks, that, hey, you know what? They're doing the right thing, trying to build. Their goal is to break it down to build back up. And that is what they're doing. That's why the score is high for comprehensive. It's on the bigger side because they're trying to build down to get back up. And that's kind of been like purgatory. Hornets, we're seeing that. So let's look at now from a Warriors perspective. Their score is minus 7.04. It's right here. The blue zone on this chart, again, is the building optimality zone we talked about. And then the sacrificing optimality zone is the other side. So the question is, do you trade a young player like Kuminga, for a non-elite player, Malik Monk, we've talked about, Josh Giddey potentially, something from the Suns, or hold on to limited optionality for a high-value return? Giving up a young asset now is risky in the CBA, especially with teams getting purgatory for one, overspending, and two, the tax bill goes with spending it. So sacrificing optimality again, the Bucks and the Suns. They sacrificed the future for the now. Hasn't really worked. Wolves in the same scenario. Mavericks, they got lucky with Cooper Flag, but that really wasn't what they were trying to do with trading away Luka. That's a win-now move with AD versus the future. For the future, though, again, you got the Spurs. What have they done? The trade to get De'Aaron Fox. You got Wemby. Both have contracts now signed. Fox has got an extension. Raptors have been slowly building to get back up the championship. And we talked about the Nets and the Hornets already, Pistons and Thunder's way up there. Wizards have been trying to rebuild for years and years and years. They're on their way. Same with the Jazz. Pelicans, kind of purgatory. So you see the Warriors are kind of like sacrificing for the future again with the Draymond, with the Steph Curry, with Jimmy Butler coming in. Yes, they have some draft picks, but they haven't translated to success. Suns, of course, KD, Devin Booker, Beal experiment did not work. I've sacrificed everything, getting those the trade for KD, for the draft picks, gone. Let's go get a winner now, and it hasn't worked out. Obviously, based off this chart, that shows it too. So now you're looking at the path from optionality to dynasty, the nonlinear path to winning. So a different way to do it. Now you're looking at how many wins are they expected to get and how's it actually being successful. So the left is number of wins on ESPN expects, and then are they actually getting it? So OKC, again, the number one team out there. Have they cracked the dynasty code? Expected a lot of wins. They won the championship. Nets, they were expecting wins, but they did not get that. They're the furthest from their inflection point. So wins over under, they're expecting them around like 22, and that's kind of where they finished up. So that's good that they're there, but you want to get to the very top. You look at the Warriors, where the Warriors at? Right here. So the Warriors were expected around 42 wins last year, kind of what they got. We ended up around, I think it was 49 wins. So you beat that a bit, which is good while you're above the zero. However, you're not winning the championship. The Bucks, so you can see right here, we're expected to have a lot more wins last year, and they ended up in the minus. Same with the Suns. Expected a lot more wins last year, ended up in the minus. So you can see where the teams were graded based off of their actual score versus what happened. And then you can see right here as well, Nuggets, Cavs, and Knicks all have financial issues coming up. Big players they're going to have to either pay or make trades like the Celtics did this offseason. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. A look at the NBA's most flexible franchises and their projected win total. So now you're seeing it from a different perspective. Again, we just talked about why were the Nets? Their score is 500 and they're over 21. So they basically hit that because that's what they were trying to do with tanking. Again, you look at the Warriors, we're way down there, 62, 46. So our score over under was 46. And their score was 61 because they were right over it. I think we ended up with 49 wins, if I remember correctly. It was 49-50, something like that. You get what I'm saying. But the Nuggets, Bucks, and Suns, all expecting more wins, and they did not get to that point. So that's why they were significantly lower. Same with the Wolves, Lakers. They're kind of right around there, right at that zero mark where they were expected. So it's interesting to see stats like this and putting, some data behind actually people saying front office sucks, nothing happens, things of that nature. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. To me, though, this is the most interesting one because this kind of shows you how the team is doing and curving. And obviously, the data says the Thunder are A++, as expected. So comment your thoughts. Did this change? And here's our roster for the season. So did this change your opinion on how the Warriors are doing, not doing? Is this interesting? Do you like this stuff? Give me everything you want to know. And of course, like and subscribe. I'll keep you updated on everything Warriors Digest.